Hello again and welcome to PHE 289. What I'm going to do, that's soccer officiating obviously, and what I want to do is provide you with several video clips for Law 12, Fouls and Misconduct. Many of these, regretfully, are involved in the misconduct phase of it, but I want you to see the foul that precipitated the yellow card offense, and we'll actually have one red card as well. Possibly two. But anyway, I want you to see the fouls that go along with some of these things. Now, once again, these things are done at the collegiate level, so you're going to have to kind of be understanding of at least that level of competition. But nevertheless, the foul is the foul, and these mimic the same thing that you're going to find in the high school game as well. So let's go ahead and begin. I'm going to show you a couple of these things right away. Here we go. I'm going to use this monitor, so bear with me for a minute. Here we go. And that's certainly not it. So hang on. Got to find it for you here. Okay. Let's go ahead and take a look at a couple of these as they relate to fouls and then misconduct. Here we go. Let's take a look at this one.
Opportunities for ASU all night.
Choose not to do a short corner. Shane, a looping ball. Kept alive by...
Did you see it? What we're dealing with here is a handball in the 18. Take a look, and more specifically where the referee is, in this location right here at the top of the D. That's where he started out. Actually, to the right as you're looking from the goal line out towards the midway line. He was on the right side of the D, and sure enough comes into the box to indicate that we have a penalty kick. Remember, this is signal. He's giving it here, and you'll see why in just a moment.
Arizona State, and it looks like maybe a handball, and they'll give a penalty kick to Arizona State. Arizona State has a chance to get one here.
Here's a ball in on that corner kick. It came bouncing over the top. And
there it
right,
is.
It
All she had to do is touch the upper arm. We have a penalty kick. I'm going to do something else here. I want you to see, and I think I can freeze it. Here we go. I think I can freeze it so you can see what we're talking about with placement for the penalty kick of all the players. Here we come. What we're showing you here, and what I want you to see here, is that the referee is going to go ahead and indicate to the assistant referees during pregame that they are to line up at the intersection of the 18 and the goal line. That person is there to judge goal line or infractions of the keeper, ball in or out of the net, those kinds of things, specifically established by the referee at pregame. If the referee wants him or her to take on additional duties in that position, certainly they'll tell them that. But generally speaking, when you get right down to it, the only thing that this person is to do is to identify whether the ball clearly goes between the uprights, underneath the crossbar, and wholly over the line. If in fact that is the case, we have a goal. So he is setting this up. Ball is at the 12, okay, at the spot. The players are outside the D. Take a look. Here's the D. They're outside of the box. They would be on the other side just before the penalty kick is taken. The referee will ask whether or not the keeper is prepared and ready for the kick to be taken, and will also identify and make sure, just in case there's any question, who's taking the kick. Obviously, that's what this is doing. He's identifying it, making sure everything's fine. Then eventually he will take a position way out here, allow the kick to ensue. Let's take a look at it. In this next clip, you'll notice that we have a hold. Sometimes these are very subtle, but nevertheless you need to be vigilant for what's going on in the middle third of the field of play. We've talked about that before in this class. The referee is positioned way outside so that he is keeping himself and a majority of the players between him and the assistant referee, located probably off of our vision along the touchline. But in this particular case, he has 1, 2, he can easily see this person, 3 and 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 with a nod of the head, can see 14 and 15 of the 22 players at one time. Very important. good placement, and watch what happens in this clip.
Against a team like Portland.
Well, we're seeing that they're off to a pretty good start this year so far, 6-3-2, obviously their first West Coast Conference game.
Did you see it? The hold was blatant. He had come in closer to get a closer view, better idea of what was going on between the players. You notice he's already going to his mouth with the whistle. Let's go ahead and continue on with
What are your
that.
impressions so far of the BYU squad this season?
Stops the clock. This is in college, and here comes the hold. Watch. Did you see it?
Hard workers, and they want to be the best.
Look at that hard work right there as a push.
Grab the jersey, blows the foul, produces the yellow card. Don't know what the previous history is in this game with that particular player, but notice we've got 71:33 left on that has expired in this game. Only another 11 minutes. Another net 11 minutes. No, I'm sorry, 19 minutes left to go in this game, and then it's all over. So you don't know what the history is of this particular game. He sets up the ball. He's back to the ball, to the kicker. He's eyeing the situation. Before he does this, he'll bring this player back to a 10-yard distance and then allow play to continue. Let's take a look at another one. Here's another example of holding. This is in a men's game. Take a look at where the referee's positioned. Let's see how he handles this.
Nothing lead. They just saved a penalty kick from Wenger. Aguirre goes down. There's a yellow on Libreros.
Clock stops on the yellow, and Duke gets another chance to get everybody in. I think Belshaw will come up to take this kick, and they're going to try to get everyone in the box. But let's just have another look at this foul. Really going with the ball, and clearly a foul.
Did you see what he did? The foul wasn't what he did with his feet. And by the way, that's the other rationale for having the socks different colors. Okay, and in this particular season, upcoming in high school season, the home team will wear white socks. It makes it easier for you to see what's going on with the legs. But it wasn't that at all. It was something else. Let's see if you can see it again.
Let's just have another look at this.
Watch his arm. Reaches around, grabs him, and pulls him down. Notice, too, that the official in this particular clip is well off to the left of the clip, and hopefully that's what this player's thinking anyway, is that the official would miss that call.
Clearly a foul. Here's a timeout. All UVA is down to the box.
Let's check out a couple. In this next clip, the video demonstrates very clearly what a team will do sometimes to delay the taking of a penalty kick, of a direct free kick, so that the other team doesn't have the advantage of taking a quick kick. Take a look at what happens here.
Sweet Kent, now for Duke. He is fouled. A free kick opportunity for the Blue Devils. The referee will stop the clock. The Virginia players do not like it. Yellow card issued. Looks like it's a bird. Tough to tell.
Okay, there's the foul. We don't have any problem with that. He's going to blow the foul. It's outside of the 18. It's going in. We've got, take a look at them. I'm going to count them with you. 1 defender, 2 defenders, 3 defenders, 4 defenders, 5 defenders, 6 defenders in the area. So setting up the defense shouldn't be that big of an issue. However, if you watch what happens, one of the defenders kicks the ball after the whistle has blown to create a delay situation. Check it out. There he goes. And the kick.
Sweet Kent definitely pushed off, and legitimate yellow card there for Bird, I would say.
And the reason for this card is not for the foul. It's for the delay. I believe it was number 11. Let's take a look again.
Sweet Kent, now for Duke.
Number 11 takes the ball and just kicks it away. The foul had already been called. The whistle had already been blown. Notice that the Duke players have a very quick reaction to having the ball kicked away. They know exactly what was going on. So, delay. Remember, that was one of those that had to be addressed in misconduct. Okay? Let's see a couple. This next clip, yes, it's Duke and University of Virginia again. is a very, very good example of a tactical foul. This is something that you'll have to deal with as you progress in your officiating career. Tactical fouls are necessary in the game, and people can do them very, very well if they know what they're doing. Okay. What I want you to see though is how it was done and how quickly it was done and why it was done. Let's take a look.
Lewis McLeod also looking to come in for Duke. Duke will sub more than Virginia. Tweed Kent making a long run. He had 11 assists last year. He is bumped.
Notice that the commentator suggested that the player was bumped, but we all know exactly what happened if, in fact, you take a look at this in a second time. What I want you to do is watch why the white player, the Duke player, fell to the ground. I'll show it to you here in just a second.
It's outside the 18 and a really golden opportunity now for Duke.
It really is. And by the way, you have a look at this run by Tweed Kent, and this is the difference between him last year.
Now, before I let the video progress, I want you to watch how the Duke player gets around the first offender or two. It's the second one that he's going to have to deal with. And watch how he trips him.
Here and this year. Last
It's number 17. Watch carefully what he does with his feet.
year he was out there just working hard and kind of
See
being
how he
good.
handled
This
that
year he makes some
from behind with his leg, okay? He was going the opposite direction, but the easiest way to do that was to stick his leg out, and hopefully 19 would trip over. He did. They have a tactical foul, okay? Let's take a look at a couple of others, okay? The reason I'm showing you this next clip isn't for the foul, but rather for the communication that's necessary between the center and the assistant referee. Exceptional, very good teamwork is necessary for an awful lot of these games, okay? Let's take a look at this sucker, okay? Hang on.
boy, that has to be that person going into the postseason if they make a run in the Big South.
Well said, Keith. He's only the Big South rated player of the year, had such high aspirations, still very much on the Major League Soccer radar, as several players in this one are. Mark Kadlicek trying to get things under control as he talks to Malcolm. And he'll get a word from his assistant referee, a yellow card now to Malcolm.
Another look at this one. You see Malcolm pushing the guy down from behind. And, it just won't on. I'm sure I would have given him a yellow card.
There's a couple of things that go along with this video that I want to point out. Not only does he communicate with the assistant referee, but he does a very good job of keeping his eyes and the assistant referee's eyes on the bulk of the players instead of turning his back to the field and talking directly with the assistant referee. Not only that, but I want to show you something else that he does that I like very much when we're talking about how to issue cards. Watch how this works.
Well said, Keith. He's only the Big South rated player of the year, had such high aspirations.
Here comes the communication.
Very much.
But I want you to see what he just did. Let's make sure that you see it again. We have a potentially difficult situation here where the player who has just been involved in what we might consider a rather difficult foul is being pulled by the referee off to a different location on the field. Watch him do it again.
And still,
You come with me. He brings number 23 over to the side. He discusses it with the assistant referee.
Trying to get things under control as he talks to Malcolm. And he'll get
Here
a
comes the
word
card.
from his assistant referee, a yellow card now to Malcolm.
And off we go. A very good example of how communication between the assistant referee and the center will have a dramatic impact on the game. In high school, as well as the NC2A, cards can be issued to the coach. And I think this is a good example of how to do that. If you will, this game is Arizona State versus Stanford, okay? We're in the 79th minute. We've only got 11 minutes to go, not even that, if you will, almost 10, taking a look at the clock. Just watch how this referee chooses to handle a particularly loud coach.
This year just looking for another spark, trying to find a combination that works. They're still playing so hard and aggressive. They're not letting down, that's for sure. They are trying to work out there and put one on the board.
Got more Pac-12 women's soccer coming later in the year as Leslie Gallimore's Washington Huskies, which took this Stanford team into overtime, will be featured on the NSCA game. We've got a yellow card issued here. That may have gone to the coach, Kevin Boyd. I think it did.
He's fired up over there. He's trying to get his team going.
The Washington Huskies will welcome in Washington State on November.
What you'll find oftentimes is that a lot of these coaches will allow their assistant coaches to do the screaming for them. Let's face it, assistant coaches aren't necessary. And you can tell them that. It's the assistant coach, when he or she gets the first yellow card, they usually shut up and allow the assistant coaches to do the rest of the talking for them. Something to be very, very aware of as you get into your officiating. By the way, keep in mind that the keepers are also capable of fouling, all right? While I happen to be one that really regards the keepers very well and try to protect them as much as I can, even though they can use their hands, I believe that in this particular example, the keeper was responsible for a very blatant foul that was not called. Now, I differed with the rest of my national assessors at the Chicago meeting. I'll let you be the judge. I'll explain my piece and let you figure out how you would do it. Remember, this is a collegiate game. University of California, Santa Barbara is playing Akron. Let's take a look at it.
It's been exciting to see the number of great players across the country that have played AYSO as they're featured every week.
Silva. Back in a Noni tries to make a 1-1. Ooh, then he's dropped by Mavis. I'm not sure if Mavis dropped his shoulder or not, but Noni was airlifted.
Right, Noni was airlifted, and then Mavis is feeling it as well. We have another look at this outstanding back heel there by Sarl, and it was a poor first touch by Noni, and I'm not sure if Noni couldn't have done a little better getting out of the way there. Both of them feeling that a little bit, but that was an excellent attack by Santa Barbara. Clever back heel. Almost caught Noni by surprise, I guess, because his first touch got away from him. Let's have a look at that again, because Sarl running away from the middle, opening that space up, and here we have, and I guess when you look at it that way, it's Mavis who dropped his shoulder in.
It's been exciting to see the number of great players across the country that have played AYSO.
Let me shut that down. You can learn a great deal from players' eyes. That is, if you're close enough. But you can also get a great deal out of body language. My particular problem with this particular clip is that I felt that, yes, I understand that the keeper was coming out to get the ball, but the way he actually moved into the player, take him up and over, was, at least in my impression, an attempt to either hurt the player or certainly make a statement about where he was and what he was doing. The rest of the national assessors disagreed with my assessment of this, and we've put that in as a good no call for the keeper. You are going to have to make decisions predicated on what you see on the field.
Every week.
See what you think, and make sure that you stick to what it is that you're doing and have a good reason for making the call. Me, that would have been a PK. That's all there is to it. Let's take a look at it. This happens to be another example of a delay call, a yellow card situation that you usually don't see at the collegiate level, but rather at the younger levels. This happens to be the University of South Florida playing North Dakota, I believe it is. I think that's right. I may be wrong. Maybe San Francisco for all I know. But or Oregon. I can't really tell who this is. But anyway, here you go. Let's take a look at the clip and see what you think of what this referee does as it pertains to the actual delay call.
Lauren Boy, but this one's not over. Gotta believe Chelsea Klott's got some votes. She's on the ball now for the Bulls. She is fouled. The clock ticking now. USF. Demi Stokes will get over it. Brian also comes over. stop the clock now and get a yellow card.
It was obvious what the player was trying to do. They were trying to set up the wall so that it would most accurately, if you will, provide an additional defense for the goal and the keeper. But what they were also doing was a delay of the game. Now, the only problem that I have with here is that you'll see that the referee right here in the middle of the field is issuing a card to a player whose back is turned to him. Do not let this happen, especially in high school. They need to be stationary. They need to come to you, arm's length away. Give the card, okay?
With the stall to Melissa Henderson.
Here's an example of a red card situation. And obviously, of course, we never want to see this kind of behavior on the soccer field. But if you do see it, you have to react. You have to act quickly. There's a couple of things about this clip that I have some problems with. Not with the red card at all. That's not the case at all. What it does bother me, though, is how the three officials come together and discuss this. Well, let's let you take a look at it. See what you think.
Employees today?
Maddox offside right now. Keep going, Jeff. Want to hear more?
Well, it's a relationship that allowed us to learn about the opportunity here for Cub Cadet.
Oh, we got a little bit of pushing and shoving. Maddox is in there.
Maddox has got to be careful. He threw his arm, and he not only shoved, but threw his arm. And obviously, there was a reason for that, but it did not look good from here, and he has to be really careful.
Let's see what the referee does as we get some physical play here on Cub Cadet Field. As New Mexico not about to back down.
Okay, a couple of things went on very quickly here that I liked. One, the referees got in between the players, the combatants, as quickly as they possibly could. That included the assistant referee. Now, in this particular segment of the video, as you can see, the assistant referee 2 in this particular case, comes into view. But take a look at what's going on. I've got 3 referees situated right here. And what's happening with the 22 players? Well, we've got a few of them around them, and the play is stopped. The ball has been put out of play. The clock is stopped. And they're going to discuss this for a couple of seconds. My problem is that we have no one in charge of the 22 players at this time. So, are we convinced that the potential for a fight is over? I hope so. Let's take a look at the rest of it. Okay, sorry about that. Phone calls and everything. Don't move. Watch the whole thing go through.
Jamaican in the middle of it. They're going to get some help from the assistant referees. What do you see, Keith?
See? I have a real problem with this.
Exactly what we're about to look
They've
at.
made a decision, though.
We see the ball coming here. Again, he's called offside. He's still trying to get the ball in and looking back. There's nothing there. I mean, that's Maddox overreacting. And that overreaction.
Let's see. Looks like there it is now. We're going to see it right here as they'll walk over to the fine forward Maddox and give him the red card. So Akron will now play
The only other problem I have with the way the card was issued was it was issued and then the referee turned his back on the player. Generally speaking, I like to keep my eyes squarely on the person that has just been given the card to see what their reaction is, to make sure that they don't have some other problems as they exit the field. That's just a critical piece to this thing. And at least at the collegiate level, which, by the way, some of you may be eligible for in a couple of years, you're going to see some of that, okay? Some of that quick reaction to some of the things that are done. Anyway, what you've seen are several examples of some fouls and misconduct, just to kind of keep in your head as you go on and begin to prepare for this upcoming high school season. Yes, I know these are collegiate players, but the fouls and the misconduct are very similar in nature to the high school ones, as you could have seen from my list. I had approximately 35 to select from, and these few worked very well for the high school game as well. Okay, hopefully that'll help you, okay?